something shifted. He went to the doctors, they did an entire scan, and his entire body just restructured itself. The entire cancer was gone. And it's been, I think, 2.5 or 3 years. He looks amazing. And you just can't deny it. You can't. And this is who healed themselves just with meditation. So different modalities, but same results.
Welcome back to Deep Roots Wellness Podcast. Today's conversation is a little different and really special. I'm sitting down with a mother-daughter duo who work in two different but deeply connected realms of healing. One works with energy in the quantum field, with intuition and the body's wisdom, and the other works with the mind, the subconscious, belief systems, and integration. What I love about this conversation is it's not about choosing one approach over the other. It's about understanding how healing actually happens when we stop separating the mind from the body and the body from the energy that informs it. We talk about different healing modalities, intuition versus conditioning, discernment in spiritual spaces, and what real integration looks like beyond the emotional high of a session. This episode isn't here to convince you of anything. It's here to invite curiosity, self-trust, and a deeper awareness of how healing can unfold, especially across generations. So let's get started. Ladies, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
I would love to start by both of you telling me, how did you find your way into this work? Because I absolutely think that both of you ladies are absolutely fascinating.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it goes way back to my childhood, honestly.
Oh, wow.
We've always been exposed to energy work and possibilities and healing. When you got sick when I was 7 years old, right? I mean, that's my earliest memory.
That's true. That's true.
When she was, and then you could fill in the details, but when I was 7 years old, they found a benign tumor. Right? It was like a benign tumor. Yeah. So they said, okay, we need to operate as soon as possible. Let's not waste time. And right before the surgery, we heard about this energy healer in Baku, which is where we used to live. And she went to that energy healer, and the lady said, just give me 3 months. 3 months, and then go back and get a mammogram.
No surgery. Just wait.
Yeah. I'll just energetically work on you. Mm-hmm. And everybody thought she was crazy. Like,
oh, yeah.
The doctors are like, are you out of your mind? We shouldn't be wasting time. But she obviously, she's like, that's all I have. Let me just try it.
Mm-hmm.
Tried it out. And 3 months later, she goes back and gets a mammogram. And the whole thing vanished as if it never existed. They couldn't believe it.
I love this.
And it was fun. And we actually, even though there's thousands of people from all over the world that fly to be treated by this woman, and she's healed various people, we became really good friends with her. They became best friends. And so as a little girl, I've witnessed that. I was like, oh yeah, it's a normal thing. People heal energy, like it's normal. And then she had her own awakening.
Sorry, honey. So here's the thing. When I went to speak to her, actually, my friend introduced me to her. I did not really believe in energy work, and well, I wasn't even spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I said, worst comes to worst, it's not gonna help, and I'm gonna have surgery. Okay, let me try. So that's how it started. But very interesting fact, and I still think it's pretty fascinating. The first time when I came to see her, and the only thing she did right in the beginning, she put her hands right on the top of my head, and I collapsed.
Oh yeah,
remember? I fainted.
Oh,
that's energy.
Really?
That's energy.
Yes.
So that took about 3 months, and they did the ultrasound, and they said it's gone. We don't understand how, but it's gone. So she's absolutely right. That's how it started for me.
And she's always told you that you're a healer, but you never believed her because it didn't kick in. Because with the universe, like sometimes a soul wants you to suffer, go through certain challenges to learn, and then it decides, like, okay, age 55 or whatever, I will kick in. And then she didn't believe it for the longest time.
No, I couldn't even understand. Like every time she did this, my friend, I was like, what is she doing? What is this? Well, now it makes perfect sense. So she can talk about her awakening. But in my case, just like Nurhan said, I was in my 50s when, I went through a lot of trauma. It is a long story. And I know a lot of healers. Have to go through this. And one day when I was sitting in the backyard, I fainted. But this time, no energy workers around. I was meditating. I was meditating. I started feeling weird, and then I fainted. So when I opened my eyes, I started hearing, or maybe those were my thoughts. I don't know. I still don't understand, but I could clearly hear something like your mission is to be a healer. And I thought this is just in my head, but I didn't really pay attention. But then I noticed my hands were burning and it would get worse and worse. And then I felt uncomfortable. And I even told her, I don't understand. Am I going crazy? Because, I went through so much, a lot of anxiety and depression started
hearing spirits.
I started hearing things. I started hearing, I was like, okay, I need to see a psychiatrist.
I've heard that so many times. People say that.
I actually went to see a psychiatrist. I got the second opinion, and they said, well, let's just stress, but nothing really like scary. And then I met someone who became my friend, and he's a shaman, and
very
established, famous. And I asked him all about it, and I said, I think I'm losing my mind. He said, don't worry, this is what we call awakening. You are a healer. And I said, but what am I supposed to do? How? What do I do with my hands? But the other thing is, I am a mathematician and a physicist, just like my dad. And we both always believe in quantum energy, quantum field, electromagnetic waves, and all of that. So I've been into that stuff. And that's when I started researching and learning more about it, because my shaman told me it's not just about the science, it's also about, not about the spirituality, but it's also about science. So you need to educate yourself. So that's how it started. He was helping me a lot. He explained to me, how I have to run the energy. And but the shamanic codes.
But she's a composer as well. Well, yeah, I guess you're I would call you a composer. She channels music, so it started pouring in. She'd get it or 3 a.m, right? 4. She'd just wake up and she'd be like, I need to play. And then she'd go,
and I have a piano at home. I have a piano at home, which, I mean, to me, it used to be a piece of furniture. And all of a sudden, I started playing.
Yeah.
And I can't read or write notes. So I started recording, because I cannot repeat the same again. So I started recording, and then after doing a lot of research, I realized that my music comes in different frequencies, a solfeggio of healing frequencies, and I started incorporating that music into my practice.
Yeah.
Ladies, I've had the chills the whole time that both of you are talking. Your stories are fascinating. So let me ask you real quick, Layla, when you passed out, when you were meditating, do you feel like that's like, I mean, that was like the beginning of your awakening and that's why you did? Like, what caused you to pass out?
Well, now I understand.
Yeah.
Now I totally get it. Well, first of all, a huge amount of energy all of a sudden. And I just couldn't, now I can control it and I can manipulate. But back then, I didn't even know what that was. And besides that, well,
you felt like you were in a tunnel.
I was,
right?
Yes,
like you were flying through fractals.
Exactly.
And you open your eyes,
lots of colors, it was so bright at first, before I fainted. And I thought, okay, what is going on with me? you know what? They say stay present. And it's not easy. Correct?
Yeah.
Well, at that moment, it felt like I was in a,
like a black hole or something.
Yeah.
I mean, she drew it for me the next day because she was like, I can't get out of it. And it looked like a black hole full of like patterns and fractals.
Yes.
And she said she felt like she was flying through it. Part of your body was numb. It was
my dad, who's a physicist, he says, I actually, my body, well, not physical body, but astral body.
Yeah.
Another dimension. That's what my dad, who's a scientist, he strongly believes that that's what happened. So, and that's where I think I received my gift.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Or you remembered it because I think you always.
Yeah.
I always had it. But then all of a sudden,
it's kind of like you came online with it.
Yes, exactly. Dialed in.
Yeah. Exactly.
And didn't you have like hummingbirds all around you when you woke up?
When I opened my eyes, finally.
Yeah.
I saw a beautiful hummingbird and right in front of me, so close. And you know how they don't really move slowly. They move too fast. And it was just staring at me. And I thought, okay, I'm just sleeping. I think I'm sleeping. And then it was like, and then comes back.
It was coming to visit you. It knows. They know. Animals are.
Oh, they do. And a few months later, she, by the way, my daughter, my child, taught me back then how I have to meditate. She taught me because I was telling her, I don't know what to do with this energy. I don't know how to meditate. I know I have to stay grounded. Help. And my child educated me. She taught me all about meditation, how to stay present, which was very helpful. And by the way, my friend shaman, he says he's very proud of you.
No, thank you. Yeah, he's on Gaia. He's a really
What about you? How did this do you?
Well, for me, like I said, everybody always has to go through some challenge.
Oh yeah.
And right? Otherwise, if it's nice and easy, we're never going to look for the answers.
We're not going to look for it. You're right. We're not going to. There are no answers. We don't think because we have it figured out and everything's easy. And absolutely, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So mine was, growing up in my 20s, and I traveled a lot, worked in Australia, always feeling like something's missing, but just living life. And then I ended up, my own set of challenges came, and I ended up getting married actually. And we kind of jumped into the marriage because it was passion and love, and we were insane. And we thought, he barely spoke English, I barely spoke Spanish, but we thought we know each other so well. And, and then, we got married quickly because of immigration too. Like we wanted to hurry up so he could stay here. And then we both realized, like we rushed into it. But at that point, it's like, what do we do? Like we had a little girl at that point, and I just felt like maybe this is life. Like we just have to accept it. It was a decision we made, and now we have to be accountable. So, and I was, trying to find asking for opinions left and right, and all of a sudden, I don't know how, this book, The Law of Attraction by Esther Hicks,
how that happens, isn't it?
It's you have, it's called Goodreads. I don't know if you know that app. It's pretty much, you could make a list of books you want to read. I never added that book to my list of books I want to read, but somehow it appeared in there. No idea. I was like, who added that into my app? And I clicked it. I saw all these reviews from all over the world saying it took them out of the deepest hole. And I was like, I have to read it. I feel like the universe literally sent it to me. And that's what started everything. Like life just made sense to me. I understood. I became obsessed with the idea of understanding it on a deeper level so I can teach others. Because I've always been a teacher, whether it's English or consulting. So I was like, I need to help people. So that's what ended up being the biggest catalyst for my own growth, is learning everything about energy work, learning everything about the mind. I got certified in hypnotherapy, NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. I did all kinds of courses with Eckhart Tolle, who wrote the Power of Now. Went to Esther Hicks seminars, Joe Dispenza, every book you can imagine, just to understand our body holistically, because we're complicated human beings.
Yes.
Mind, energy as well. And when I was little as well, I felt energy. I remember I would just do this to people, like an inch away from their body. And I'm feeling here. And usually where I felt tingling was where people had health issues.
Yep.
So, and I didn't know what, I thought it was obvious that everybody had that.
Everybody did, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they were like, no, this is different. So,
like mother, like daughter.
I know, you're like the dynamic duo. This is amazing.
Yeah. So that was my awakening. And then everything changed since then. I started coaching people and doing workshops, and life, it's very different now. So
when did you come to the U.S.?
Was it 1999?
1999.
Yeah, I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
You were,
and I was something else.
Yeah.
So did you notice a big difference? Because in the Western world, like, we're only physical bodies. I mean, energy and stuff, that's not real. Of course, people are waking up more today. But did you notice a big difference when you moved to California? Like, with people's mindsets?
We started off in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Minded, I would say. Like, people are all about logic, Western medicine, and it was hard to find like-minded people to discuss this with. But when we moved to Los Angeles, that's where everything changed, because this state is
totally
awakening
different.
very fast.
Yeah.
Big spiritual community here.
Yes.
And I think that's what really, I think accelerated our spiritual growth, because we are around other healers, other
like-minded
psychics.
Yes.
They, before even knowing anything about us, they tuned into our energy and told us that we both have a huge mission. They're like, you're similar, but you're going very different paths.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to disclose too much information.
That was a while
to change
ago.
our journey. And we're like, because I was still working a corporate job full time. She was still just teaching math. And they were like, no, believe me, like, there's going to be a giant following. And yeah, it didn't unfold until years later. And now it's like, oh my God, they were right.
Yes.
Which is pretty amazing.
So what does it look like for you ladies now? Like, what do you do?
Yeah. Well, you could start.
You can start.
Yeah, fine. Fine. So right now I'm actually in this transition period, because I've been doing one-on-one coaching, working with people, hypnotherapy, NLP for a few years now. But I also love public speaking. And so I want to be in front of more people to influence more lives at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's what I started doing this year, is conducting different workshops. I did some for corporate to see how that would land with them. Obviously, I had to change the language a little bit to make it more digestible for a corporate audience. But having worked in corporate my whole life, I understand their language. So I did a workshop recently for the L'Oreal head office, for example, one for Wolf and Shepherd. So it's been unfolding really well. And that's what feels like home to me, is working with a large audience. And I'm going that direction. Whereas she is social media blowing up.
Trust me, I still don't understand like what's going on, because I know it takes years, to build up your community. I'm talking about social media. Get all of those loyal subscribers. And I didn't really know anything about it. I didn't know anything about how to
make reels
reels and anything about the digital media.
I've learned that this year too. I'm very new to all this.
It's like a full-time job.
Absolutely. So but you know what, something was telling me, you have to do it. You need to expose yourself to more people. Yes, I get a client here and there, and I do my group sessions remotely or in person, but something deep inside was telling me, no, you need to keep going. you need to do more than that. And I said, you know what, let me try YouTube, I guess. Well, you actually inspired me. She pushed me. Yes, she pushed me. She said, Mom, you really need to do this. Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
So that was her first subscriber.
She was my first subscriber. And then it started growing so fast. Yeah. And YouTube was created actually in I think in December of last year. So it's been a year, and I have almost 26,000 subscribers now.
Without doing any paid marketing, it just people from the world were like, oh my God, these live sessions are changing me. Like people sleeping better, anxiety started going away, all kinds of comments.
Right. But then I said, you know what, maybe I should try TikTok. I mean, I heard about TikTok, but I thought that specific platform is designed for teenagers. I didn't know anything. So I said, okay, let me create, an account. And of course, she was my first subscriber, and Leslie and my sister. And now what? But you know what? Somehow the universe decided to twist things around, and it's just all of a sudden I see the next week I see 20 subscribers, then 50.
But you're live.
And I started doing lives. My first live I started in September of last year. Oh, I apologize.
No, it's like 3 months ago.
I started just a few months ago. That's YouTube. A few months ago on TikTok, and that's how I started, getting more and more followers.
But my favorite part is when she did her first live, because we were like, you know what? Even if there's 5 people watching, like and maybe 1 or 2 random people, you're still going to change their life, even if there's people. So let's not let the ego come in the way and do it to help people. So she's like, you're right. So she started doing these lives, and there was like 10 people coming in. And usually it was just energy healing. It was like music. She's like, I'm not going to talk. English is not my first language. There's no way. She'd turn on music and she'd do this energy healing. And my favorite story is when she said that she closed her eyes. She was in a trance state. She was doing energy healing. There was 8 people watching. But then all of a sudden, words started coming out of her mouth. And it wasn't even heard. She was talking about
channeling.
She started channeling for the first time. And with her eyes closed. But the interesting thing is that you started saying stuff about the people that were in there. There's 8 people here. 2 of you have migraines right now. 1 person is laying down with your leg lifted because it's broken. Very specific stuff. And people started freaking out, like, oh my God, I'm laying down with a migraine. And when you open your eyes like 20 minutes later after the whole channeling session, there were 40,000 people watching.
Are you serious?
No, I think it's 40. Really?
Yeah, 40,000 likes.
Likes. Okay.
Regardless. I mean,
like, how?
That doesn't happen.
No.
You know what? To be honest with you, I thought maybe it's just the TikTok's algorithm. They're testing. They want to see what the new creators, can offer. And I thought that was just maybe a happy coincidence. But you know what?
No.
That was you.
Yeah, because she kept going, and it kept growing, and thousands and thousands.
And now I
was like, who are you? What? And my mom's influence. But it's amazing. Like, people feel the energy on it.
Now I have almost 10,000 subscribers on TikTok, and I do lives all the time because I get a lot of requests from people from all over the world.
So is incredible.
Yeah, quite a journey.
It's amazing how the universe works.
Exactly. And when you finally align with your soul mission, it's not supposed to be hard. When they're doing something you're meant to do, everything starts unfolding.
You just have to surrender to it and put the ego aside.
Exactly.
And I think we really need each other. And I think that's very important, and that was actually God's, plan.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look at her and I don't even see my daughter. I see a friend.
Yeah.
And and we don't really work together, but actually do.
Oh, absolutely.
We always...
Yeah, it's not the same business.
Not the same business.
But sometimes we tag team. Like if I have a client who comes in and, I'm helping them with traumas or, social anxiety, but then they've also got physical pain. Like I had a client who's a retired NFL player. So his back is really messed up.
Yeah.
And so helping him with, all kinds of things. But then I was like, go to my mom. She can help you with your back. His back pain's gone, right? Yeah, like he's playing sports.
Of course it is.
So, but then same thing, vice versa. If she's treating somebody and, but they've got a really negative mindset, they realize that their thoughts affect their entire reality. They're like, okay, you gotta speak to my daughter.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So it's nice.
Because you use the same amount of energy. I use the same techniques, same. Everything is the same. And actually, remember those two ladies, same age, same issues, same stress, the level of stress, but one got healed in one session. She was fine. The other one, I met with her 3 times, and I still feel some kind of resistance. It just doesn't work. And I said to her, can you do something about it? Because it's her mind. It's her mind. Your body it's like a dance to me,
Yes.
A dance between the body and your mind.
Yeah.
So, and you helped.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just shifting your perspective and then everything happens naturally. So
do you feel like that comes from conditioning?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because by the age of 7, we take, before the age of 7, we take everything as 100%.
I did a reel on that today.
Yeah, isn't it? I mean, so can you imagine, like, when you're a child, depending on who you have around you, that they're literally making your entire mind and filter of the world and yourself. 95% of your mind actually lives in the body. So, so if they're scared of, they're living in lack or living in fear or say that you can't trust anybody or relationships never work out, a child is taking that as 100% proof or truth. And so then when they want a relationship or they want abundance, the brain wants to protect you from being, let down by people because that truth is still living in the brain. So you have to reprogram those thoughts, those beliefs before you can move forward in life and get those things. So that's where hypnotherapy comes in, because it's like you're bypassing all the conscious work. Like you still have to be very careful with your thoughts consciously, but you can kind of accelerate that process by going straight into the subconscious and then reframe some of those beliefs.
Had I had this information or known it when I was raising my children, when they were, ages 0 to 7. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're reprogramming a lot of things that I did not know. I didn't know any of this, right?
Of course. Right. They don't teach this to us at school.
They know.
But if it makes you feel better, souls actually make a contract before they come here.
Exactly. So, that's what I hear the word on the street is.
Yeah, they choose each other, and they need a set of challenges and limitations to have those struggles later in life so that they can awaken.
Yes.
So don't ever blame yourself.
So do you feel if you had like one session with someone and of course they there's an improvement there, right? If they don't correct the energy that they're taking in or their mindset, more than likely that's going to come back because they're taking on the same energy. Do you find that?
Right. Yes, exactly. You know what's interesting? I'm thinking of this analogy. Like you want to learn how to swim, and you got all the steps, and you understand the theory. But if you actually don't start swimming and practicing, it's not going to work, right? And it's the same way. People will come to me and say, you know what, I think it helped. I'm good. So I'm good to go. But we still need to educate them. We need to explain how important it is to, ground themselves.
Yeah.
Years ago, I didn't even know what that means.
Exactly.
I get clients who say, you know what, I don't understand these meditations, like the roots coming. I mean, I can't get this. Fine, it's okay. But what I want you to do every day, find a tree. It doesn't take much time. Hug that tree just for a minute, and just try to stay present. That's grounding. That's grounding. So you need to do that. Or you know what? It's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
People have to change. Because what happens is we're energetic beings. We're pretty much like electricity. We have an electromagnetic field around us. It's supposed to be pure, just like our soul, and gives us the life force. However, our thoughts affect that electromagnetic field.
Absolutely.
And so that's why you might have some cracks. You might have a lower frequency. So what happens is when she does the healing, she actually changes the field around the person. She clears it up. Once the field is cleared, then the body takes that information. The cells kind of start restructuring themselves to match the frequency of the field.
That's important.
So you clean up the field, you unblock that person so the energy can finally flow, which is that person's energy. She's not giving you new energy.
Exactly.
She's just cleaning up your own energy so that it can flow into your cells and give you life. But what happens? If that person goes back to the same patterns, the same negative beliefs, the same lifestyle, the field starts changing again because it's all about resonance. Once it changes, and it could be gradual, you can manifest that physically as well.
Unfortunately, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's where hypnotherapy comes in, though.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's why I like to educate her clients. Sometimes I'll just pop into her lives for free, obviously. And I'm just like, hey, everyone, you're all trying to heal right now. She's going to do her thing on you, but please. And then I give them a little mini workshop on how they can be conscious and present and protect their own field so that they can continue healing and not have to, like, they prevent future diseases or whatever else was out there. Now they have control over it. We all have control over everything. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where
your
diseases
mind can heal you. Your mind can heal you, but it can also kill you.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And that's where the diseases come from one major reason is because our energy.
Yes, exactly. Actually, I just got back from a Dr. Joe Dispenza event. He's incredible. I mean, all the findings. He actually showed us something, and please go on his website and look at that study, but I'm just paraphrasing. He said that they noticed a correlation between women with uterus cancer and their specific cracks in their field, pretty much. And they were like, okay, this is 100% correlation between so many different people. Then they tested women that don't have that condition, but their field still had those same cracks. I'm calling them cracks, but it was something.
Yeah.
And they're like, they were able to predict the women that were about to have it. And the women that didn't really change their mindset or do any energy work ended up actually getting uterus cancer. And I was like, what?
Yeah,
so it's just proof that it's your that controls everything.
And you can't deny this.
No, absolutely not. So that's why I'm so glad that they're doing all this work. He has a whole research team at UCSD where it's science now. So no matter how skeptical people are, it's like, go and look at the studies.
Yes.
There's proof out there now. Yeah. Incredible.
So what do you ladies say to the skeptics?
I jump straight to the science, honestly.
Me too.
I gauge the person's belief system, obviously. I work with a lot of engineers as well, from aerospace engineers and tech people, because that's where I worked. And they are very skeptical. They're like, oh my God, this is BS. Stuff. And so I take a different approach. I start off with showing the science, showing the field and how they're able to measure our brain waves with EEG. I show them frequencies, how we're not the only ones with a frequency. Everything operates in frequency in the world. And then I show them these studies where you just can't deny it. So that creates some curiosity. They're like, okay, there's something to this. And then we unfold, like gradually. Right. That's what you do as well.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes, when you get a client who wants to get healed, but came to me just because he wants to try and just for fun, just like I was many years ago when I came to, now she's my friend. So same thing. And then, you know what? I don't try to convince that person. I don't want to change.
Because you can't.
Right.
Exactly. But I love, doing these little tricks, playing games with those kind of clients. I don't try. I do it. I take them into another, believe it or not, dimension, which I call the quantum field. It's a process. I had to practice myself and to learn just to make sure I'm safe, my client is safe, and then together we go on that journey. And believe it or not, it doesn't take that much time. Well, it depends on the client, of course. But by the time we are back to reality. That same person who said to me, I don't really believe it, but I'm here just to try, changes his mind on his own.
Absolutely.
Says, you know what? Actually, I want to get another session because that was pretty fascinating. So, I like that. I love that. And
because you don't go into it with expectations either, because that can also have
exactly. But also the other thing is, you mentioned science. You probably know, or maybe not, but each organ in our body vibrates. I mean, anything around us vibrates, as well as your organs. Now, frequency, well, it's different. For each organ, it's a different frequency. Now, if you take a glass of water, right, and it vibrates, you don't see it, but now I'm talking as a physicist, it vibrates. Now, if I use a sound, let's say, loud, but not necessarily just loud, but with the same frequency. And when the frequencies are the same, what happens? It shatters. So in this case, I use either my music or I have to work really hard to find appropriate, music, sounds that come in different frequencies. And it depends on the person's issues, those specific frequencies, to make that organ work differently.
Yes.
So, and it's just it works the same way with the energy centers, which call chakras. So that's exactly the same thing. Each chakra wants to hear a specific frequency. That's science.
Yes.
Forget about spirituality. This is pure science. Proven.
Yeah, exactly. In Japan, they did this fascinating experiment where they looked at really contaminated water from one of their lakes, and you could see all the bacteria. It's all through a microscope. And then they had somebody play a very specific frequency over the water just for 10 minutes. And when they looked at that same water under a microscope, the entire structure changed into beautiful symmetrical snowflakes.
Patterns.
In patterns, because the universe works in symmetrical patterns. They fractals. Same thing. We're mostly water. So
yes.
80%, I think.
We have to be careful with the music that we're listening to, the people, everything is frequency, and our bodies, they match, they resonate with the frequency. So if you are going through some kind of illness, I would say to my clients at least, surround yourself with everything with high frequency. Positive people, that's why that's important. stop watching the news. It's made to make us
for sure.
She always says that.
Things that make you laugh, and then listen to music with uplifting, high frequency, and your body will naturally start to resonate with that and mimic it.
That's right.
And she does that with energy. She sends and manipulates that frequency so that their body starts to vibrate with that same frequency.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I know you ladies have seen the studies where they speak negative, dense, like negative words over water, and then speak positive words over water, and then they freeze it, and positive has these beautiful symmetrical shapes, and it's chaos with the negative words.
Yes.
So that
too, plants.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
actually,
yes, I did the experiment. This is absolutely fascinating. Same plants, the same soil, everything was the same. I would water them at the same time. Anyways, so I have 2 rooms. So in one room, I play music, classical music. I did that on purpose, okay? I chose the specific frequencies and I would do it constantly, pretty much 24/7. The other plant was sitting in the other room,
same
sunny, same sunlight, I mean, same conditions, but there was no music. And guess what? The plant that was listening to music grew this much higher. It was taller than the other.
Yes.
Like, how?
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
That.
Yeah.
How is it possible? Well, it is possible.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So the more people understand this, we could change the world quicker.
Absolutely. And you can compare people that understand this, and I'll say have had an awakening or spiritual, and they feed their bodies with healthy, high vibration food and music, and people and then people in dense, negative, bad situations.
Yeah.
You can look at their health and you can compare that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that, you could almost a lot of times look at somebody and just kind of almost know the lifestyle that they live and what they're around and what they allow themselves to be exposed to.
Exactly.
And
the confusion usually comes from, but this person is so sweet, they're so nice,
Yes.
they're so compassionate,
Yes.
they go to church, they pray, they do all the right things. Why are they so sick? Because it's too much compassion, because you're not feeling worthy, because you're not valuing yourself, and you're constantly living in either grief or guilt or
fear, shame.
Yes.
And they get sick eventually.
So it's the same frequency. It's still, it doesn't resonate with ourselves. So that's I think that's what people really need to understand is you could still be a good person, but your frequency is still off. You need to really work on staying neutral, no matter the circumstance.
Yes.
You could still be sympathetic and care and be there for people, but prioritize your own energy, your frequency, and that's how you heal yourself and then others around you. Because back to the law of resonance, when you are operating at a higher frequency, people that are in your circle have to actually match that frequency to still be in your field.
Yes.
You're actually affecting them unintentionally.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, and they get curious, like, hey, what are you doing? How are you getting everything you want? And they get curious, so you're not forcing them to change, but then they start awakening on their own.
Yes.
Because they're witnessing you. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I'm an emotion code and body code practitioner, and it's just another modality of energy healing. And so the body code, it kind of gets into it gets into the organs and deep in all the meridians and all this stuff. So when you were talking about organs and all earlier,
okay, now
yes,
we're speaking the same language here.
Yes. Oh, I was just thinking you ladies were speaking my language completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is all fascinating, absolutely.
Yes. And in South Mississippi, there's not that many people that speak this language.
I want to know about your experience. You must have to educate even more when you come across. people.
Yes. But if energetically or vibrationally, if someone is not there, they can't hear.
Yeah.
And they can't understand.
Yep.
And I mean, I was there years ago too. Like I said, I'm relatively new to all this.
Yeah.
And so I've been there, and if somebody would talk to me about this, I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. That's what I get. Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
So that's one reason for this podcast, is because I get to meet people like you ladies.
Right. No, that's sometimes it takes them hearing from somebody else. Because
yes.
too. I'm telling the same information, please.
Yes.
And they end up reading a book years later, and they're like, you know what I learned today? I'm like, what? I've been telling you for years.
I've been telling you. No, I know.
Exactly.
Same.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
everybody has their own journey, and it's when they're ready. And the reason that happens, actually, where you said they can't hear, is because the subconscious mind is there to protect you from any risk. And so if they have a specific belief, the subconscious mind will block you from seeing or hearing anything that is contrary to that belief.
Yes.
Even though you could have it literally in front of your face,
you don't see it.
It's not going to let you process that information.
Yeah. And that's one thing I've learned through this process, and I've said this several times in every aspect of my life, that I used to think that when I was talking to people, they could actually hear the words that I was saying and like understand what I was saying. And the more I've learned about how the subconscious works and how our programming works and our mindset and where we are energetically, they can only hear where they are. Like they can't actually hear the meaning of the words that are coming out until because they're just not there. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So you have to really give them concrete examples of their own life and what's happening, and dabble in the drama a little bit so that they really understand, like, oh, maybe I'll get different results in this year that I'm dealing with. So yeah, we've seen that. We have some family members like that. We're still trying, but
we're trying very hard.
Yes.
I have found at times that those are the most skeptical.
Finally into it. My mom used to be a doctor, so she never believed in this.
Yeah.
She didn't want to hear about this. And now, once in a while, she's an old lady, obviously she has arthritis and all that. She calls me, honey, are you free right now? Can you hold on me, please?
I love that.
Yeah, because when the painkillers don't work, it's revealing that works. So
yeah. So absolutely. What did your family think when you ladies kind of got in this field initially?
We still think we're a little crazy. Yeah. My brother finds it fascinating. Like every time he sees her lives, he's like, "You got 40,000 likes! Oh my god!" So he's supportive.
He's getting there.
Your husband, my husband,
is supportive. Not spiritual.
Not.
No.
Lawyer.
Typical lawyer, and but he supports me. He started supporting me from day one, and then he said, "You know what? This is fascinating. I don't know how this works. I don't want to even figure this out. It works. I don't know whether it's placebo effect or what, or it's your energy." He said, "But you know what? It works, and I'm going to support you." So, you know what? I always tell my clients, don't try to analyze and understand how this process works. No, just surrender. Surrender. Come on. That's all you want. Especially when people come with I'm sure you can sense that too. The energy is somewhere stuck, and traumas, and sometimes they say, "Listen, I don't even remember much. It was so long ago. I actually forgot about that trauma. I don't think it's that." No, it's that. So it doesn't mean you have to remember and think about it all day long. So
it gets trapped in the body.
It gets trapped.
Yeah.
You know what? I think my aunt, she's a perfect example, actually.
You have to share.
Yeah, I wasn't going to share this, but I feel like people need to know this. So my aunt, her sister, we're very family. She's a perfect example of somebody, accountant, didn't believe in any of this stuff, but living in a lot of stress due to conditions of life. Never, I mean, even when we talked about the stress, would roll her eyes until her set of challenges started. And she, went to the doctor, was once, heard terrible news, stage 4, went to different parts of the body. They were like, sorry, we're gonna try, but we're not promising anything. And everybody was devastated. And so while she was crying and everybody was crying, I just tuned in and I was like, okay, we need a plan. We need a plan. I went into deep meditation.
Amazing.
And it came back with a plan. And I was like, okay, we need to wipe out her entire kitchen of whatever she's eating and turn her into the medical medium diet. I don't know if you've heard of medical medium. He channels meditation and helps people heal naturally. So changed her diet completely. We obviously had her do Western medicine, whatever the doctor said, even though he said she doesn't need to change anything else about her lifestyle, whatever. I was like, yes, continue with Western medicine. And then this is right before her own gifts came in. That's actually around the same time. So I started searching for energy healers, and I found energy healers in Hawaii. And I called them and I was like, hey, do you think you could heal her? Because they need to do a consultation first. And they said, we think we can. And so my brother and I, we paid for it. We set her up. And my aunt, I've asked her, I was like, listen, there's this option. I thought she was going to say no. I thought she was like, this is BS. But when you have nothing else.
She was desperate.
Yeah, I mean.
What do you have to lose?
Yes. The universe does that on purpose. It'll give you problem and problem and problem until if you're still being stubborn and refuse to change your ways, it's going to make you drop to your knees. And sometimes it manifests as physical illness. So she said yes. And she was crying. She's like, I'm open to anything. That's all the universe wants. You just to open the door slightly.
Yes.
So we started that protocol, the diet, Western medicine, the energy healer. Before the first chemo, her tumor started reducing in size. And they were
during the first chemo,
the first one,
it started reducing.
And they said it usually takes a month at least, or 2 months to show if there's anything. But they were like, this is crazy that it's at the same time. So she didn't throw up once. Usually people lose weight.
Oh, yeah.
No, didn't throw up once, didn't lose weight, rosy cheeks, was dancing still, was playing music, didn't know how to meditate. But those energy healers, they would send her music, they would open the portal, and they would say, all you have to do is just be present and sit here.
They worked with her mind.
They worked with her mind, which is huge.
That's what it was, right?
Within 3 months, it was during the summer, the entire thing vanished. Like, gone. It's been years since
she's cancer-free, 3.5 years.
But it went from stage 4.
And they gave her no chance, basically.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. They're still shocked. They're like, you're a miracle. They don't know what it is, but I know what it is. It's energy.
I know what it is.
That's what I call the power of mind.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
And I look around and see all of these diseases, and there are so many. Do you ladies find that there are so many in victim mindset?
Yes.
That's a big one. And I bring that up often too, because I know that we can't change anybody's mindset.
No.
But if you are working with someone with victim mindset, how do you start? Like, how do you approach that?
If you want to, when you work with the person's mindset.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the number one thing I work with, at least. Because when somebody comes in, most people do, I would say like 99% of people show up in this victim mindset, like, this is happening to me, I can't control my circumstances, I've got bad people.
No self-awareness.
Yeah, like I have no time and this, and look what happened to me. And they're reaffirming, like, you see this thing didn't work out, I knew it wasn't going to work out, why did I even try? And then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you put out that mindset, you look for the proof, you get the proof, you behave a certain way, you put out the same energy, That energy.
And the universe is going to give you exactly what you're putting out.
Yeah, you're stuck in a hamster wheel. So I don't blame them. I approach it in a very compassionate way, but I'm still tough on them. And so the whole first, I would say 3 hours with that person, I train them on what is frequency, what is vibration, and we get what we are, not what we want. Because people are like, please, I want this so badly. But you're still thinking from a place of lack. No.
Yes.
Law of resonance. A candle is dancing like this. Another one is like this. You put them together, they will dance harmoniously. Same thing. If you are giving out an energy of lack, even though you really want to be rich, but you're still thinking, but this is expensive, or, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. That's what you get back. More expensive.
Yes.
More lack. Once that clicks, I really need them to understand that part, you begin to take accountability. Yep. And then I teach them tangible ways of, okay, you're washing the dishes. Try to think about the water. Try to think about the plates. If your mind starts wandering, bring it back. It's going to be painful. It's going to fight back. It's going to be like, this is a waste of time. It doesn't matter. Every time you bring your mind back, you break a pattern, you break a connection in your brain. You've got millions of them, but every single time you do it, you undo and you pluck away more and more connections. Whereas over time, it begins to give you a break. You've got more gaps now between thoughts. Like one comes in, you redirect, and then you realize, whoa, I've got a gap. And then another one comes in, and you're like, oh, I'm off track. Oh, bring myself back to present. And then you're like, whoa, now I have a long gap.
Yes.
And that's when you really get that true sense of presence. And you're like, whoa, I'm not in the future thinking about what I can't control. I'm not in the past dwelling on something that happened to me 10 years ago. No, I'm literally just with my own body in the kitchen. And that is a euphoric feeling. I know it sounds simple, but you gain energy. You're not leaking it anymore. Once that happens, true moment of presence, something so simple, people begin to change because they finally sense their own energy. And once you become familiar with it, now you know what to work towards.
But see, in my case, I can't educate the way she does. I'm sorry, English is my second language. I just use the energy, Yeah. And the people think that I get the energy from somewhere and then I just transmit it into their bodies. But to be honest, people just use their own energy.
Yes.
It gets stuck here and there, but I have to help them to, regulate the flow. And I always say, my role is, what do you call it? Facilitator.
And manipulate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I watch the transmission. I work with the quantum energy. I get those pockets and we call them electromagnetic waves. And we do play with them, but in reality, you heal yourself. So I don't really need to explain much because they actually experience, during the healing session, they experience very interesting changes. So they say, wait a second, that's interesting. I felt this. I felt that. What is this? And that's how they start, okay, we have sometimes conversations about the mindset, but I really don't want to spend too much time because I want them to discover something that probably their body always knew.
Yeah.
But they realized during the energy healing session. However, when I get I call them spiritually stubborn clients, and if I'm really desperate and I don't want to torture that person, meaning I don't want to, do session after another session, after another session. Oh, why? I just send them to her.
Yeah.
So she works with the mind. And then once To me, it's like when you cook, you make your soup. You need spices. If you want really that soup to taste good, you do need the spices and other important ingredients. Well, I cook that soup, yes, but in order to make it delicious, if it's a very rare type of recipe, then actually adds those, spices. Then the soup it becomes really, really.
Gosh, I want some of that soup now.
I know, so do I.
But yeah, no, herbs is pretty much the hack for people because they experience it. So even if they don't believe it, but they're just a little bit curious, they experience it. Right? Even during the lives, like for example, she doesn't tell them what she's working on, but she focuses on the throat energy center, for example. And then people start commenting, I'm coughing. Why do I feel like I can't breathe? Oh, my voice.
Clearing that energy, yes.
And then she'll expose it after. So she plays a game with the audience. She's like, I'm not going to tell you what I'm working on.
No, I never do.
You let me know what you feel. And every time it's 100% correlation. People say they sense weird things in their stomach. And she's like, yeah, I'm working on your solar plexus.
It's funny.
It's very amazing.
And it's like
they believe.
And they all
yes,
it's crazy.
So they see each other's comments and everyone's like, oh my god, yeah, this how can I
then they can't deny it,
right?
Especially because she doesn't even say what she's working on.
Yep yeah, you've had, I can't remember some of those stories, but she definitely a lot of stories where people are blown away, and then I'm blown away just listening to those stories.
It never gets old, does it?
No. And I think that's our job. Your job too is reminding people of these miracles, because life is so distracting. It wants us to look over there to all the drama, all the negativity. We need to continuously remind people how much power they actually have, and not in a cliche way like, oh, be empowered.
Yeah.
Oh, take accountability for your thoughts, your actions, and then you will start witnessing change. You will start to trust yourself over time.
Right.
But you need to take that step and start changing. The rest will manifest itself naturally.
Yes. If people knew how powerful they were. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you said it earlier, our bodies are designed to heal itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, it's not even like a huge process. It's just working with energy and the mind. And anything can be healed.
Anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, just at this Dr. Joe Dispenza event, there was somebody that came on stage and shared his story. He's about 60 years old. He was diagnosed with pancreatic stage 4. They said he only had a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He was not a believer. He didn't know anything about meditation. But then he discovered the website. He saw all the testimonials of people who were able to heal themselves. And he's like, you know what? Now I have a choice. There's this camp right here, and everyone is talking about dying and declining. Or there's this area right here where possibilities and healing. I'm going this way. Like, if I'm going to have 6 months, I'm going this way.
Exactly.
Just that little reframe, he downloaded one meditation and just did it. Nothing complicated. Twice a day with his wife. Once in the morning, once at night. Twice a day. It was an energy center meditation. 1 month later, he woke up in the middle of the night convulsing, like just getting chills, and his wife's like, oh my god, did you have a bad dream? He's like, I don't know, I can't control my body. He knew something shifted. He went to the doctors, they did an entire scan, and his entire body just restructured itself. The entire cancer was gone. And it's been, I think, 2.5 or 3 years. He looks amazing, and you just can't deny it. You can't. And this is who healed themselves just with meditation. So different modalities, but same results.
Exactly.
So that's right. That's right. And really, you're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're working with the energy in the body and changing the mindset and rewiring the subconscious.
Yep.
And that's another thing. And you ladies have said it, but when we're doing this work, people are actually healing themselves. And that's like so important for them to understand. We're not actually healing anybody. You're healing yourself. We're just helping the process.
Yes.
And if they could just
a lot of people get stuck looking outside themselves.
Yeah. Yes.
They're not enough. They can't do it themselves. So, they might go and get a session here and there, but if they revert back to the same patterns, but they still feel like, oh, there's answers outside of me. So they overconsume, go on YouTube, watch too much, watch movies, documentaries, anything, but they're not actually applying the work.
Yes.
They're not going to change. So that's where it's like, okay, you've seen the information, you've seen the YouTube videos, you went to get a session, turn it off now. Now go and live your life.
Do the work.
Yes, exactly. Become conscious. Be the observer of your mind. You will get to know yourself on a completely different level. Yes. And that's where change starts.
And that's what I tell people during my lives all the time. And I will never get, tired of that. I always tell them, I just want you to remember how powerful you are. You probably don't realize, but I want you to understand. Your body has this incredible ability to heal itself. Remember this. And I always say that over and over again. It's important that they actually understand and hear this from the healers.
Yeah, because they might not consciously believe her words, but their subconscious knows that the subconscious is what's controlling the rest of the body. It knows. So just getting them and that's what I do as well. I get them in a relaxed state and then feed them this information. The brain sends new information to the nerve.
That's right. And actually, we've always known this.
Yes.
Like it's our conditioning and fear-based beliefs. And I mean, I know personally how I grew up, and it was deep in religion, and this was not a thing. And it was evil work, right?
Yeah.
And so you're scared of it, and you're programmed to think the opposite.
Yes.
But when I got to a point, and like you said, like something usually happens in our life to make us start researching this and looking into it. And I remember I felt so much guilt in the beginning because I was going down different avenues, but there was this inner knowing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just knew that there was truth to it. And when I finally gave myself permission and let go of the guilt, and it's like, I'm looking into this, like I'm going to do my research, that like my life changed like instantly.
Of course.
And it's like, we've always known this, but we're here to remember it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And find ourselves and come back to that inner knowing.
And guilt is one of those that keeps people trapped.
Yes.
Down there with fear, it's the lowest frequency.
Yes, it is.
So the fact that you were able to overcome that after hearing the same information your whole life, that's a big deal.
And that energy gets stuck in your the gallbladder. I noticed that.
Yes.
The survival part of us.
I noticed it.
That's right.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because those first three energy centers, the first two mainly, are the survival part of us. It's the part that wants us to just be following the familiar. If something is a little unfamiliar, not something we've heard before, it's going to do everything in its power to hold us back.
Yes.
Right. And which is guilt, which is fear, which is maybe embarrassment, whatever emotion it can throw. Procrastination, all of it comes from the same part of the mind, which is fear of, hey, if you go down there, I don't know what's on the other side of it, so I'm going to pull you back as much as possible.
And so many people get stuck in those lower chakras, like their energy.
You notice that too, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All the time.
There's so much there.
Yeah.
And it's very challenging to overcome that when, your whole life has been consumed with that. And so I do hold space and compassion for people knowing that. But sometimes it does get, I'm going to be honest, like frustrating. It's like just if you could just surrender, like kind of like we said, and just, you don't even have to believe what I'm saying. Just give it a chance.
Right.
Exactly. Just give it a chance.
And with clients like that, like for example, I had a 25-year-old guy can't come in.
Mm-hmm.
He really, I mean, he did not believe anything. His mom was the one that was like, please try this plus. Oh my God,
Yes.
okay. He was so fed up with his own results, though. He was stuck in a job he didn't like, sales,
Yeah.
doing sales for a car company. He couldn't find dates. His dream was to become a race car driver. He
Yeah.
loved everything about racing. He had a Ford that he rebuilt and made it into a race car. He tried so hard to apply and apply. He wasn't getting in. And so he's like, you know what? I'm curious. Fine. Like, just one session. So I had to go to his level and I gave him just really simple techniques. I was like, what I want you to do from this point forward, pay attention to your thoughts. I explained to him to be very deliberate with his thoughts. And you don't have to meditate or anything. Get a journal and every day write 3 things that happen in the last 24 to 48 hours that you're grateful for. No, it doesn't have to be cliche like on Thanksgiving. Thank you for
Yeah.
food on the table. We're used to that. We've heard it too much. No.
Yeah.
Things that happen, like, oh, I had a funny interaction at the grocery store. That made me
I got a good parking spot.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
What happens with that, though, is it forces the brain to start searching for the positive. You start reprogramming.
Yes.
Because we're naturally thinking about the negative. That's what the subconscious wants us to do. So instead, before you go to bed, it is forcing you to start looking for the positive. You rewire those little ways and then you go to bed. He did that for a whole month. Everything started changing for him. He texted me with giant letters like, holy effing thing! I can't believe it. You know, SH.
Yes.
A testimonial.
Yeah, there's a testimonial. You can watch this video actually. But it's pretty incredible what happened because he wanted to be a race car driver. He also wanted to be present on social media and have a whole community. What happened was he got this impulsive inspiration to put up a reel on his social media saying, hey guys, I just want to let you know I know everything about racing because I'm obsessed with it. Even though I never became one, I still know everything about it. So I want to start mentoring people who want to become race car drivers. I'll show you everything about cars, everything about parts.
That's
Here
how
I
it
am.
started.
That video was seen by an actual race car driver, a professional, who wrote to him saying, hey dude, love the video. I actually was literally planning on starting a mentorship company, but I hate being in front of a crowd or social media. Why don't we work together so you could be the face of this company and have a whole community and make all the videos? And let's try to make you a race car driver so that we could use you as an example that any normal person can do this. They worked together. Everything unfolded. He got this giant community of race car drivers. He's communicating with everybody. He got in finally. And 3 months later, he's racing. He sent me a picture of him with his suit, with all. And he's like, I'm literally living my dream. Yeah, and then he started sharing on his own social media with a bunch of dudes. Like, hey guys, this stuff is in his own words, but he's like, I don't know, manifestation or universe, but if you pay attention to your thoughts, I swear to God, it's working. Look at me. And then people started getting inspired in his field. And that's how we change lives.
Yes.
Starts.
I love the way the universe works.
Yeah.
And I love hearing those stories. And my next question was going to be, what is the most incredible, fascinating experience that you ladies have had with someone, like a client that you've had?
The one I would say, when I worked on a young man, he's in his 30s, he had a severe trauma, lower back. So I don't think he agreed to do surgery, but he lived 10 years with a pain in his back, and he couldn't play sports anymore. He couldn't exercise. He couldn't work out. So he came to me and said, you know what? I mean, I have nothing else to lose.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar. So, and I worked on him. I think we met 3 times in person, and that's about it. And well, he says it's a miracle. think it's a miracle. It meant to happen. So he had hernia also in addition on his spine. So it disappeared. And today he plays sports. He plays basketball. He works out.
He couldn't even sit for more than 10 minutes. He'd be like this. He had to miss so many events because he couldn't get out of bed. And now, I mean, he's running around playing basketball.
Yeah.
And
so that's pretty fascinating, because when he came to me at first, first of all, he wasn't really, he didn't believe in this. His girlfriend forced him to try it. And I thought, you know what, that's challenging already.
Yes.
I wasn't sure how long it's going to take. That's another thing. People ask me, how long is it going to take? It depends on your body. It depends on your mind. I mean, some people get healed in just after one session. They feel great. But others, it takes longer. So I wasn't sure how long it's going to take. It took 3 sessions, and then he was absolutely fine. And the other example, which I always I share with my clients who I see remotely. People think, you know what, if you don't touch me, if, we're not close to each other, how are you going to heal me? Yeah. And then I always try to explain, there's no such thing as distance or time when it comes to quantum energy. So that's why it's so easy to, work on people even remotely. And that was, that happened to this young lady who, gave up on herself. She tried everything. She went to so many doctors. She got different treatments, and nothing worked. So her problem with her GI system, digestive system, and she said, I don't think it's gonna work. But I said, that's not the right approach. So let's rephrase it. So okay. So she lives in the Netherlands, so far away from me. And after just first session, only one session,
I love this.
She was fine. All the symptoms were gone. And, she was thanking me over and over again. And I said, listen, first of all, that's you should thank the universe, because you found me. I don't think it was a coincidence.
No.
The universe brought you.
Yes.
In a different country.
She was at that frequency.
Exactly.
To find me.
Yes. Yeah.
And second of all, you agreed to do this. You said, you know what? I'm going to believe in myself. That was important. I know I can heal. That's very important. Because if you keep telling yourself, no, okay, I'm here, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to
It's not going to work.
Yeah. So that was pretty fascinating. And usually I spend an hour, when I do my full session. In her case, it was only 30 minutes because she had a lot of pain and she felt uncomfortable. So I said, you know what, let's split it into 2 sessions. So I worked on her, I think, 35 minutes. And she didn't need to meet with me after that again.
My favorite story was when she started channeling, because I'm like, okay, I understand she heals, but the channeling thing didn't come in until later. And there was a company, this little wellness center, and they were having this party for their employees because it was like a 1-year anniversary. And they asked both of us to come to their little gathering and I was going to do a workshop, and she was going to do healing. Well, she can't plan what comes in. If the universe wants me. And so she was healing. They were all laying around her. She didn't know anybody, so no names, nothing. No. And she's sitting there just doing her healing. And then all of a sudden, she turned off the music. She's like, I'm sorry, information's coming in. And she just started blurting all the stuff anonymously about people that were there. Now, there's only 8 people. So it's really easy to get information wrong.
Yeah.
You know? And she was saying specific things. And I was standing there,
Just
I was
like
recording some of it.
Just like the live.
And I'm thinking, why is she saying this stuff? I mean, she's saying, there's one person here. He's not cheating on you. He is not cheating on you.
Oh.
The second one was...
I'm not psychic.
You know. But then there's another one. She's like, somebody here with the right knee problem. Be easy on your right knee. Let it heal. This person also drinks beet juice every day. So very specific things.
Yes.
Like, okay, there's only 8 people, so I'm going to test this out later. And then there was somebody, she's like, there's someone named David. He died when he was in his 20s. He's telling you he's okay. So there's specific things and names. Then she comes out of it, and all of them get up, and they're like, oh my gosh. They come up to her. The first guy's like, my cousin is David. He died when he was 23 in an avalanche. Oh, and then the other one comes and says, I'm the one that's worried that he's cheating on me. Thank you.
Listen.
And the third person comes up to her and says, I've been really hard on my right knee. I keep working out and I drink beet juice every day. And that was
gosh.
it. Like,
so random.
That is fascinating.
It was so fascinating. So that gave her confidence too. Like, hey, this is my mind with me. She had to agree that she's a channel, and she let it happen now. And I think that's why her social media blew up, is because she does a lot of channelings for the people that tune in. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So how do you how do you explain to people what quantum energy is when they're asking, like, how do you do it remotely?
That's a long. That's gonna take a while.
Like, what do you say to them? We're like, well, I don't understand. What does that mean? What is quantum energy?
Yeah. Well, I start with the electromagnetic waves, just like an MRI machine. I just give them this example, and this energy comes in. I call them pockets. So you get a pocket with those atoms. So yes, atoms. To me, they are like atoms. So you have to process it. So basically, I absorb that energy, but I'm not giving it to people. This is how I recharge. So that's how I recharge my own body, my own biofield. And I get those pockets only when I can't do it right now if you ask me. So I have to tune in, stay present, and that's how I start receiving them. And once it doesn't take a long time. So, and then when my body is ready, the process begins. I can work on your body so that it can heal you. Now, the quantum energy, quantum field, it's like another dimension. There are many dimensions, right? But that's how I see it. It's a different world, different space. And believe it or not, that's where I work with my clients. So once I am all ready, I tune in, great. The client is ready. I take that client on a journey. And I always say, have a good ride. So, well, obviously I have to guide the person and all of that. So I take that person into that world. And I think I mentioned that in the beginning. And that's where the magic happens. And I call that space the quantum field. And there you can get, I mean, oh my goodness, talk about electromagnetic waves. That's like a giant, the giant MRI machine, but in a good way. It actually helps you to heal.
Well, yeah, I mean, because if you think about the reason why the power of now, for example, they say like the present moment, the space, that's all there is. So if you see quantum physics, for example, they'll say that in the quantum, there's no time, there's no there's no distance. It's just is. It's just blackness. It's nothing. And that's it. But it's super powerful because there's information still in the field, but there's no distance, because if everything is black, you can't say I'm here and you're there if there's just one thing. It's just one.
Yeah.
So if you tune into that, because we're here in a linear environment, like I'm here, you're there, I'm short, you're tall, there's always contrast. There's no contrast there. So when you take someone's energy and bring them to the quantum where there's just one, then there's really, even if she's far away and she's there, because there's no distance and there's no time, you just resonate the same frequency and it becomes one. And that's how somebody can heal immediately. That's why you can't do it from this mindset.
Yes.
Being focused on right now. You get in a relaxed state and you let yourself trickle into the nothing, which means it's the quantum. And that's where someone can heal within 5 minutes and get up from their wheelchair for the first time in 20 years. Or it might take a little while. It depends how long it takes their brain to even process and contemplate the idea of letting themselves go beyond this realm.
And then there is the term in physics of a quantum
vacuum.
Quantum vacuum. So the energy travels through the quantum vacuum, and the process is so fast and so powerful. It's just absolutely incredible. People ask me, is this Reiki? No, it's not Reiki.
Different modality.
It's different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the other question people ask me, how do you do this? Can you explain everything in details? I can't.
Yeah. There's no way to do that.
Yeah, I just do it.
And we're not meant to understand it. We're not meant to. We're just meant to get familiar with the frequency of what does it feel like to be present. And then once you get present, your body knows. You're like, oh my God, I feel at peace. When I finally first meditated and achieved it, it felt like somebody drugged me up. I honestly, I felt this euphoria. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
It feels so good. Wow. And it made me look at everything from this different lens where I'm like, why are we caught up in this drama? It's so nice. And that's, once I was familiar with that feeling, that was it. Because you remember. And same thing, it's just experience. So we don't have to get too logical, understand. That's where people get stuck and watch and consume and try to understand the physics behind it. No. Once you experience it, that's it. It's like telling somebody, trying to explain in words what a mango tastes like. You would never know until you taste it. And then you get it. It's totally different from what you were saying. Same thing, once you get a little taste of it, you never want to go back, because now you know what it feels like to be in your own energy, which is what we're all meant to live like. So,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And people have a hard time staying in the present. They're either usually live it in the past or the future.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that doesn't exist.
No.
The only thing that exists is now.
You have control over it.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing that I work with people on. I'm like, the past, the good thing about the past, it's over. So
it's over.
Let it go. We have zero control. Future, you still have no idea if things are going to go the way you want it to. And you're planning from the limited mind. You know, it's so limited because you're just working with recycled material. Why don't we let the universe take care of it and you just focus on the present moment? Because that's going to clean up your field. You're going to start expanding that energy. And once you expand that energy, you manifest better results, way more than what you were planning with your limited.
What would you tell people when they say, you know what, okay, you want me to stay present? Yeah. But I hate my present. I have so many problems right now. I'm miserable. What do? I'm scared of my present. So I'm just curious, what would you say? It just hit me. Like, how would you answer?
Yeah, that's a good question, because a lot of people, that's where they get stuck too, where a lot of the YouTube videos you see about manifestations, like, you've got to be cheerful, you've got to be positive. If you're going through crisis, you can't be cheerful and bubbly. And no, it's completely.
You just have to be like real.
You have to understand. You have to tune into your body and be like, okay, obviously I'm going through something right now. Where do I feel that anger? oh, it's right here. My heart's beating really fast. And then just pretty much communicate with it. Like, you're okay. You're safe. Because if your nervous system doesn't feel safe, it's going to keep you in that.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah.
So that's how you get present. You're not following the narrative of what happened. What am I? No. You come back to your own body. That's all it wants you to do is recognize and tell it that it's safe. It's not being chased by a lion. No one's going to die.
Yes.
Okay. Once you do that, you learn how to start regulating your nervous system.
Yeah.
And then you work your way up to thoughts and being conscious and all that stuff. But I would start with the body.
That's true.
I remember the first time in my healing process, two main things. When I understood that I was in victim mindset and that I had full control over everything.
Yeah.
And then a situation happened. Normally, I would have reacted a certain way and felt certain emotions, strong emotions, right? And I remember it happened, and I was literally waiting for the emotions to come and for me to react, and it never came. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is what healing feels like.
Yeah.
Like
It's awesome.
They never came. Yes.
Amazing.
And I mean, those were like two profound moments when I realized that I was healing and this stuff was like working.
Exactly. So it's not all rainbows and butterflies. It's in moments where it would have been so challenging, and you notice that you're now a different person.
That's right. That's right.
Differently. You're not as affected anymore, and there's nothing more empowering than that.
So, what is the most fascinating experience you've had with hypnotherapy?
Oh, there's been quite a few. I mean, one that actually I even found fascinating was I work with a lot of phobias and fears, but usually it depends on the person's phobia. Like, it takes 3 sessions, sometimes 4. I remember I was flying back from Massachusetts to California, and this girl next to me was panicking. She was like having a panic attack. And I asked her what's going on. She said she's so afraid of flying, and she usually has a sleeping pill and something, a relaxant. She forgot them. And she was just like, I don't know what I want to do. And I said, okay, listen,
of course you sat beside her. I mean,
I said, you know what, usually I work with people before they get on a flight. We're literally about to take off, but if you want, I can try. And she's like, yes, whatever. She couldn't even look at me. She was staring in front and just gasping for air. And so while they're telling us about the mask and the emergency, and it was so loud on the speaker, I was whispering in her ear. I was like, all right, close your eyes. Imagine this. Okay, you're doing this, and instructing her. And it was still so loud and distracting.
Yeah.
I was like, don't pay attention. And I kept telling her, and I could tell she's relaxing, and she's relaxing. She's doing all the movements that I'm telling her.
Oh.
And then we're already taking off, but I'm still going. We're in the air. She's relaxed still, or I'm still going. And then once we were in the air and you can't even feel anything, I was like,
yeah,
you can open your eyes. And she's like, are we in the air? And I was like, yeah. She was I can't believe this. I'm never awake for this because I'm always so scared. She was shocked. And then what happened after that? She knocked out, and she slept the entire flight. Woke up when we landed, and just thanked me so much. And that blew my mind. I was like, I understood hypnotherapy is powerful, but I didn't know it could work on the spot when somebody's having a full-blown anxiety attack.
Yeah.
So I think that might be my favorite story.
Yes. Yes. That is incredible.
Yeah.
Ladies, this has been such an enlightening and amazing conversation, and I want to thank both of you so much for spending this time with me.
Thank you so much for taking
this is turning into a lifelong friendship. I know.
I think it is too. Absolutely.
On the podcast. So.
Thanks a lot.
Jennifer, thank you so much. We had a great time with you, and
yes.
Anytime you have questions or you have questions, we're always here to support.
Absolutely. I'll definitely be in touch. And real quick, can both of you just share how people can find you? And I'll put it in the description as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my website is nurhanaura.com, and Nurhan is complicated, so it's NURHANORA.com. com. And then you'll find my social media and all of my booking links in there. So what about you?
Well, in my case, it's LaylaAwakening.com. Now, I'll send you the information. So that
okay, that's perfect. I'll put it in the description.
People can also find me on TikTok or YouTube.
Again, ladies, this has been an honor, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer.
What a powerful conversation. I had the absolute best time with these two. This conversation was an absolute honor to have. Before we close, I want to leave you with this. Healing doesn't require you to abandon your discernment. It doesn't ask you to bypass your mind or override your body. And it doesn't demand that you believe something just because someone else does. Real healing invites awareness. It invites choice. And it invites you back into a relationship with yourself. Whether you resonate more with energy work, mind work, or something in between, the most important thing is integration. How you live, feel, and respond after the session is over. If this conversation stirred something in you, I invite you to sit with it rather than just rush to label it. Let your body tell you what it's feeling. Let your intuition speak without forcing an answer. I ask you to share this episode with someone who might need permission to trust themselves a little more right now. Thank you for being here and for listening with an open mind and an open heart. And remember that you are not alone on this journey and you're exactly where you're meant to be. I'll see you next time on Deep Roots Wellness Podcast.